want to say this. This channel is dedicated to, you know, my life and the things that I've been through. But also, you know, I would have to say, the cult that I was involved in, excuse me. And last but not least, Charlotte. And I've done these tours around Charlotte and, you know, spoke highly of it. But also, I used to live in Atlanta. And I have some videos on my old channel and on this new channel about Atlanta. So I hope it's not shocking for me to do this video about the best places to live in Atlanta. And I'm not gonna be as, you know, in detail as I was when I did the one about Charlotte. Why? Because I am just not a fan of Atlanta at all. And I'm not being biased or anything. it's just not to me, in my opinion, in my experiences, it's just not a good place to live. It's not a good place to live, raise a family. But if you chose to live in Atlanta, and if you have a family, I would say the best places to live in Atlanta. Now, taking heed, there's violence everywhere. But at the same time, these will be the cities that I would say if you wanted to live in Atlanta. Now, let me take it back a little bit, because some of you all don't know about Atlanta like that, right? So, Atlanta is very small. The city of Atlanta. When people talk about, you know, Atlanta, they're actually describing Metro Atlanta. Metro Atlanta consists of several different cities, right? And every city has their own municipal court, you know, their own police force, their own government. You understand? So you have, for example, in Metro Atlanta, you have DeKalb County, Marietta, Decatur, Dunwoody, Forsyth County, Alpharetta, South Fulton, North Fulton, College Park, East Point. I mean, the list goes on. Smyrna, Buckhead. Buckhead is actually in Atlanta. The city limits of Atlanta. There's just a whole lot of different little cities and counties and stuff like that. You understand? Sandy Springs. But Sandy Springs is in North Fulton County. So, and Atlanta is in in Fulton County. So, I would say if you have a family and you want to live in a safe place, I'm about to tell you, but these places are very expensive. So you're gonna find yourself, if you're not making a substantial amount of money, you're gonna find yourself living in an apartment. That plain and simple. So take, for example, I would say Sandy Springs would be a good place to live in and having a family and raising your children, right? But at the end of the day, Sandy Springs has a lot of big houses, and if it's not a lot of big houses, they have mansions, right? So the only affordable area is like straight down Roswell Road. That's pretty much it. Other than that, going towards Dunwoody, going towards Marietta, going towards Buckhead, going towards those areas, expensive. That plain and simple. You know, I lived off Roswell Road and I stayed in an apartment. That plain and simple. And in apartments, they're not that cheap. And the thing of it is one thing that bothered me about Atlanta is this. When I lived in Charlotte, right? Take for example, I'm talking about the first time. And then, you know, I left and moved to Atlanta and then I moved back to Charlotte. But the first time, when I moved to Charlotte, right? I stayed in these apartments, like not too far from me, right? Called an Enclave. Luxury apartments, nice vaulted ceilings. I mean, a little computer area, a sunroom, We turned that sunroom into a 3-bedroom, another addition of another room because it was just that big. The amenities was nice. So when they said, okay, $1,300 a month, I was like, all right, cool, it's worth it. Atlanta wants that, but the apartments are garbage, horrible. That's one thing. If you move into Atlanta and you want to live in Metro Atlanta or in Atlanta, a lot of the apartments that are so-called affordable, they're horrible. They're horrible to live in. That plain and simple. So you coming down and say, for example, you want to live in, because you're not gonna get a house. You're not gonna get a house. You're not, unless you make a certain amount of money. If you're making about 60, I say roughly about 50 to about $70,000, yeah, you might be able to get in a house. Rent is gonna be $2,300, probably more than that. And some people will probably disagree with me, but okay, where are you gonna stay, in the hood? Where you gonna stay? Bankhead? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not making some good money, there's no point in you moving down there, because where you're at right now, if you're living in a house and you're living in a decent area, like take for example, this house right here is 1505, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, front yard, backyard, garage, right? I'm not getting that in Atlanta. I'm not. Unless I stay like in Forsyth County. And then as a black man, I got to worry about the Klan. So the further out you go, and I'm talking about out of Metro Atlanta, you got to live in some backwoods place where you originally you wanted to move to Atlanta, the city. Let me tell you something. That's another thing too. I'm glad I'm saying this. So you want to move to Atlanta, the city. Let me tell you something. There's only 2 classes in Atlanta. You have low class, high class. The end. So you don't have no middle class. Everyone stays in Metro Atlanta. Nobody stays in the city of Atlanta because they cannot afford it. And the people that live there are poor or they're rich. That plain and simple. If you want to move to Atlanta and you are from the hood, you don't mind living in the hood. You don't mind seeing the homeless people. You don't mind seeing black people begging for money and change and kicking your damn door if you don't give them money off the highway. Some of them be on highway bridges. Like, this is impossible. How did you even get up here? If you don't mind that and you love being in the hood, hey, Atlanta's for you. That plain and simple. But for those that want to live a suburban life, and you want to stay in a subdivision, they don't have a lot of subdivisions in Metro Atlanta. They just don't. I know through experience. Well, at least I stayed in Marietta and Sandy Springs, but I've been all over. I've been all over North Fulton County, in Cobb County. You know what I'm saying? Smyrna's nice, but you gonna pay. Buckhead. Do I have to say anything? Like, you gotta make some bread there. 1 bedroom, they probably hit you in the head for $2,000 or more. And you can there's still a chance that you can get robbed. A dude, when I was living there, a dude got robbed. They took his Bentley. Buckhead is a well-to-do place. Buckhead, for those that live in Charlotte, or those that are familiar with Charlotte, is a South Park and Ballantyne combination all together. Period. And people are getting robbed in Buckhead. They just shot up Lenox Mall. And that's where the Louis Vuitton store is. The Lenox Mall is like South Park Mall. They got the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, they got all that stuff in that area. So I'm just here to tell you, I'm here to just be real with you. So Smyrna, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, I wouldn't say Marietta, because I experienced so much racism till it's ridiculous. So if you're white, you could basically, it's messed up to say, but you could basically stay anywhere. So anywhere would be good for you, with the exception of South Fulton County, like College Park, East Point. It's dangerous as shit down there. dangerous. You know what I'm saying? The bottom of Decatur, but going further up Decatur, it's nice. I wouldn't recommend anywhere else. If you're black and you making a substantial amount of money and you want to live in Atlanta, I say Smyrna, Buckhead, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody. The end. The end. If you're a black female and you're making a certain amount of money, I recommend those four. And Alpharetta. I don't like Alpharetta because Alpharetta, I think, in my opinion, is racist towards black men, not so much black women. Other than that, we gotta kill this whole, Atlanta's the black Mecca and it's this and that and so forth and blah, 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 blah. No. It's classism like a motherfucker down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, true indeed. Metro Atlanta is racist, but it is. You know what I'm saying? And you go in Atlanta, there's no racism, there's classism. So you got a whole bunch of black people that think they're better than those black people over there. Everybody's clicked up. If you're not part of a fraternity, you understand? Then hey, you don't get in. You don't get in. The in crowd. You can't go down there and be a rapper. You can't go down there and be a singer. You have to be linked up with people. Period. And most of these people talking about they going down there to Black Hollywood or whatever have you to be an actor. Most of these dudes wind up being cast calls. That's it. An extra. They go to these cast calls and the dudes say, all right, we'll pay you like $10, $12. Sit over there. When we tell you to come over here, you put your hands up like this along with 15 other people. Okay, you're done. Get out of here. They treat you like shit on the set. They talk to you however they want to talk to you. Yeah, you go down there. You go down there. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. I did recommend Smyrna. I said, far as if you're a black woman, I said Alpharetta. But if you're a black man, or if you have a black family or whatever have you, and it depends. Like I would recommend Alpharetta if you have a black family and you're corporate. Meaning you have the look. You got the low cut. You don't have no dreads. You don't have braids. You're not urban. You keep a gold tee. Not even a gold tee. You keep just a mustache and your whole face is clean shaven and you just got a low, brush fade. You're good. So I would as far as dealing with a family, I would definitely say Alpharetta, Smyrna, Buckhead, Sandy Springs, and Dunwoody. That's it. Nowhere else. Not in Atlanta. Now, if you a high-end dude or high-end chick, I would recommend Atlanta and downtown Atlanta. Because, hey, you got the money like that, hey, you good. You good. Other than that, if you just a regular dude, you know what I'm saying, that's making a certain amount of money, yeah, you better just stick to those 5 places that I stated. But overall, if someone really were to ask me what are the 5, it's not 5, excuse me, what are the best places to live in Atlanta, I would say none. None. I hated it while I was there. I hated the racism. I hated the classism. I always bumped heads with whether it was females or male. I was always arguing when I was going to the YMCA. I'm so glad that I just got out of that place. Could you imagine almost getting into arguments every day? Whether it was why black people do what they do, this and that. I'm talking about, I'm arguing with black people, but then sometimes I be getting into it with white people. Period. It was ridiculous. But that YMCA was in Buckhead, and that was the best YMCA that they had. So I had to go to that YMCA. Other than that, when you see these people and they be on Instagram and or they do on YouTube or whatever it is, and they're like, I'm from Atlanta, or you'll see the location is Atlanta, whatever, and you're like, wow, man, I can't, man, as a minority, wow, man, it must be exciting down there. They must be doing big things and they smiling, they having fun. No, it's all fake. People all fake. People that you think got money, they don't have no money. I never forget, I seen, I think it was on YouTube or on the news. I forgot which one, right? This dude was dating a chick, right? had on brand new sneakers. This is a real true story. Brand new clothes, you know what I'm saying? He's dolled up or whatever have you, whenever he, you know, they go out on a date or whatever have you, right? So to make a long story short, I guess the chick wanted to know where he lived at, you know, being nosy. So she followed the dude home. This man, lo and behold, is living in a storage, a storage place, like Morningstar storage. He got the heater, he got the refrigerator, he got all of that stuff inside a storage unit. Let's not talk about how, but I heard that this is going on in New York as well. Let's not talk about the females that go out on dates just to eat, not because they're interested in the dudes. No, they just broke and poor, they ain't got nothing, you know, with the exception of a fat ass and some tits or whatever have you, and they're going out with guys just to eat for free. You could go down there if you want to. You could believe the hype all you want to. I'm telling you, I live there. Homeless people everywhere. Homeless people on the highway, homeless people in Walmart parking lot, homeless people walking down the street, homeless people, and they're everywhere, yo. They're everywhere. Even in the good parts, especially in the Buckhead. Or what about the water boys? The black kids that don't have no money, they broke and they poor, and they trying to make money in order to help, you know, their moms out, or, you know, they trying to eat tonight. So you got water boys that's on corners selling water bottles for $1. It's crazy down there, man. I have stories for days and stuff that I've seen in Atlanta. It's ridiculous. What about Grady Hospital, man? All of those bums that sleep behind, I don't want to call them bums, but all those homeless people that sleep behind that hospital. What about that? It's just crazy, man. Like, I just don't understand it. I just don't. But I'll end it like this. If you love strip clubs and hookah lounges, then Atlanta is perfect for you. If you love to party Monday through Sunday, there's always a club open. Atlanta is perfect for you. Period. But if you're a minority and you just want some peace, solace, you don't want, you know, hey man, everywhere you go, you're gonna get some type of racism. There's some racism in Charlotte, but I can deal with the racism here, because if it does happen, you're like, whoa, this is kind of odd. This don't supposed to happen here. Even a person that's like being racist, he's looking or she's looking at you like, damn, I did fuck up. This is Charlotte, I'm supposed to do that. Atlanta, they'll look at you dead in your face and be like, Nigger. I'm gonna say this last thing, I'm done. I was living in Sandy Springs, 2019. No lie, this is my word. I was at the YMCA one day, and I was in the hot tub, right? I'm not lying. This white lady said, "How do you do that with your hair?" I'm like, I was shocked. Like, she was trying to figure out, how did I do what I did with my hair, as if dreadlocks or locks or whatever you want to call it, whatever term you want to use, as if black people just started doing this. And then she just kept on asking me about my hair, and I'm like, where are you going with this? You know what I'm saying? But then I realized that, I'm not lying, and I'm gonna end it right here. Then I realized that this broad 9 times out of 10 looks at the news just like I do. And whenever you look at the news, the thing about the local news in Atlanta, they have to tell, there's no local news in Smyrna or Sandy Springs. They all share, all of the counties and cities and stuff in Metro Atlanta share just one local news station, right? So they're talking about, oh, this person got shot in College Park, this person got shot in East Point. So just imagine that. There are 5 or 6 people that got shot or died that day, and they have to talk about it because it's only one news station. Well, it's several news stations, but they only, you understand, they talk about Metro Atlanta. They don't specifically talk about what happens in Atlanta, period. And there's a slew of other cities and counties in Metro Atlanta. And one thing that I saw that they had in common, the people that were doing the murders and shooting each other, they all had dreads. Hey man, it is what it is. I'm glad that I'm in Charlotte. And other than that, you want to go down there and you believe the hype, believe it. I can't stop you. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even want to stop you. You go down there and you experience that shit for yourself. And if you like it, that means that you are just like them that's down there. Fake. Want to look down on people. Like, because you can't do this. You can't turn your eye away from homelessness and all of the problems that are going down there. Sex trafficking, heroin, just a slew of shit that's down there, that's happening. Hey man, do what you do.